Welcome to a new informational series on keybinds, PvP mechanics, PvP tutorials, and World of Warcraft guides. Today we will be doing an in-depth instructional guide to keybinding, as well as a recommended UI element to facilitate efficient and skilled PvP in the World of Warcraft. First, we will go over some mechanical terms used in this video. These terms are keybind, clicking, and key turning. Keybinding in the World of Warcraft is the use of the keyboard or multi-button mouse to quickly and efficiently use your character's in-game abilities. Clicking refers to the use of your mouse cursor to use said abilities. Key turning refers to the use of the A and D keys to manually turn your character. We must make very clear that clicking and key turning are big no-nos in PvP. By the end of this guide, you will be well on your way to optimal keybinding. For instructional purposes, we will be demonstrating with the warrior class. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of keybinding. First, I would like to recommend an add-on, Bartender 4. This add-on can be retrieved from Curse on the internet. It can be done through their Curse client or through their website. As you can see here, I have it loaded up in the game already. This add-on allows you to change the way your UI looks in all aspects. Every item on the screen can be moved around to your liking. As you can see, this bar could be moved over here, or over here, anywhere you want. They can be scaled to different sizes. As we can see, again, bar 3 can be made very small or very large, up to a certain size. Let it be known that while I recommend this add-on, it is not necessary for PvP. Indeed, many years, I did not use an add-on like this. I used the vanilla, regular, stock Blizzard bars, and they served me well. Now, for someone new to PvP, regardless of class, we must find which abilities we use the most. The quickest way to do this is by going to your talent tree, your specialization. This can be found in the main bar under Specialization and Talents. As we can see here, for an Arms Warrior, Mortal Strike, Slam, Whirlwind, Colossus Smash, and Execute are our main 5 abilities. Now, keeping in mind this, we go over to our bars, and we see that Colossus Smash and Execute are on the largest bars. Why is that? Well, Colossus Smash is a proc. It's random. It's driven by RNG. Now, we have it on a larger scale using Bartender 4 in order to see these procs during the heat of battle. We also have Execute on this bar in order to see it light up whenever a target is at 20% life or less. Now, our spammable abilities, such as Mortal Strike, Whirlwind, or Slam, they do not need to be on such a blown-up bar. They are spammable abilities, within a global cooldown, of course. They can be kept smaller. Same can be said for all of our other cooldowns, such as Avatar, Commanding Shout, Die by the Sword. Now, this is all personal preference. You might want to blow up one of these cooldowns and have your own separate bar for all longer cooldowns in order to keep track of them. But, for the time being, let it be said that just proc abilities and short cooldown ones you use the most should go here. Now we will get into the movement binding. As many people use WASD, these are the primary methods of movement. Our abilities should be bound to keys that are easy to get to in terms of frequency of use. So, for like myself, Execute is on F. I use this a substantial amount in PvP. It allows for a fast response time to kill an enemy. Therefore, it is on F, an easy button to get to. As can be seen by my hand, as I'm moving around, let's say someone's right in front of me, and they're at 20% life. Bam. There's an execute. The closer the ability is on the key to your main movement keys, the faster you'll be able to get to that ability. Longer cooldowns can go on keys that are further away. Or if you have a multi-button mouse, you might bind them to, say, the Razer Naga. That is what I recommend for a mouse. It cannot be overstated how useful that piece of equipment can be in PvP. While not necessary, you can make do with your keyboard. Now, let's say Mortal Strike. Well, we use that one quite a bit. It's only on a 5-second cooldown or 6-second cooldown. So, we'll want to put that to E. Again, very easy to get to. Spammable. It feels natural. Now, the movement keys, WASD, it should be noted that the term we spoke of earlier, key turning. D turns right, A turns left. Movement with these keys should be relegated to strafing only. Strafing refers to using your mouse buttons to hold down on the screen, as such, with the right mouse button, hitting D, strafe to the right, or strafe to the left with A. This makes movement more fluid and allows you to turn the camera at a very quick pace with your mouse. It allows you to jump behind opponents in PvP and gain the upper hand through reaction time. One of the other terms that we had used before was clicking, the manual use of abilities in combat. This is substantially slower than the use of your keyboard, such as A, our Mortal Strike ability, or F, our Execute. The time that it takes to move the mouse to hit each of these abilities, I could hit 3 abilities in that time. And not to mention, you might accidentally misclick. Now we'll get into how to actually keybind through World of Warcraft. First, you want to go to your menu and just hit escape. Once you get to your menu, you'll see a button called Keybinding. Go ahead and hit that. Let's move our example keyboard here. And in this ability, Keybinding, you'll see all these different keybinds. You'll have key 1 or key 2. For instructional purposes, we'll be using key 1 only. Now, you'll want to go down to Action Bar. Or, if you're using Bartender, there'll be an extra button here for Bartender 4. For right now, we'll be just using Action Bar, the vanilla keybinding button. Now, right now, Action Button 1, which is right here, is bound to 1. As can be seen, I hit 1, and it will light up my charge ability. This can be changed to whatever you want it to be. You could make it E, for example, or you can make it T, whatever you want. Now, that button will be locked to that bind. You can change where an ability is and put it onto that bind. It allows for maximum customization of your bars and how you want your character to play. Now, for what we're doing, we're going to keep it on 1, because that's how I PvP the best with charge. For a multi-button mouse, that is. Now, going through all of these, you can see we have special action buttons. Now, for the case of warriors, we have none at the moment. But for different classes that have stances, such as druids, they use special action buttons. For bear form, cat form, whatever have you. There are various classes that use these, so keep these in mind. They will bind your special abilities. Now, for a hunter or a warlock, you have your pet action bars too. So you might bind, let's say, T to pet action button 1. That will use your, let's say, lash ability from I think it's a succubus? Not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, as you can see here, there's many different uses of these buttons. There's many different options, so we can go action page up or down. There's so many options here. We can go to targeting. This I would highly recommend for PvP. Target nearest enemy player. Tab targeting. Get used to it. It allows you to quickly switch between enemies without having to manually go over and click them on your screen. I use it, and it's very fast. While if a little clunky at times, you'll get used to it. Now, you can also go down, let's say I'm using Bartender 4. It has all of these separated into the various bars that's available through Bartender, which is more than the vanilla bar options. Now, as we can see, there are many different options here, and it's going to be up to you as a player to decide how they best fit your playstyle. But for now, folks, that's it. Those are the basics for PvP keybinding. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll be putting out some more videos along the lines of tutorials for PvP strategies, mainly with the warrior. We'll also go over some more in-depth bartender antics and why I set these bars up the way I do, and optimal bar placement for keeping track of your procs and cooldowns. But for now, I think we're out of time, so it was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope you come back. Thanks.